Welcome to After the Wedding. I'm your host, Sabrina Porter. In 2025, we celebrate 20 years of hosting lovely, joy-filled weddings here at Villa Siena. In celebration, we decided to embark on an interview project about what happens after the wedding. Thank you for joining us as we hear from couples who've been building their marriage for many years. We appreciate how they've chosen to share their joy and challenges as they navigate their life together. Welcome to After the Wedding. I'm Sabrina Porter, your host, and today I'm so excited to welcome Patrick and Lisa. Thank you for joining us. I've known Patrick and Lisa for, my goodness, what do you think? 30, 25 years? 20 years?
I think we moved here in 2005.
Okay.
And we worked with you from then on. So
it was a long time.
About 20 years.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that incredible? The time just goes by, doesn't it?
Wow.
It's amazing.
Crazy.
Of course, none of us age at all.
Not at all.
We just, stay the same. Well, I really appreciate you joining me today to talk about your lovely long marriage. Now, tell me, how long have you been married?
So August 5th of this year was 30 years.
Oh, 30 years.
Yes.
That's incredible. Did you celebrate? Did you go do anything? Or
we had a family trip back to Michigan on Lake Michigan, and we rented a house and had everybody there. So it was great.
Nice. Oh, that's so fun.
Whole family. There were 18, 19 of us.
Aww.
And then we spent our anniversary day. My mom surprised us with a spa day.
Oh, that's fun.
Super nice.
Yeah, go and relax.
Yes.
At 30, it's different. What you enjoy is what's a real treat.
Exactly. Yeah, because I think
30
our
years.
first wedding anniversary, we did Golfland here in Mesa.
Oh, that's fun.
We went from mini golf to a spa day.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, there's nothing better than a spa day.
No.
Well, okay, so let's just back up a little bit. I want to hear about your story. I know you're both from Michigan. You're right. No. Okay. Tell me where you're from.
So I grew up in a very small town in Wisconsin.
Oh,
so I'm a cheesehead. And Lisa grew up in a very big city called Chicago. So there was a difference of about 9 million people from where she grew up and where I grew up.
little different.
Yes.
City girl and country boy.
Exactly.
That's
exactly
country
what it was.
boy. Okay.
Exactly.
And in Wisconsin, there's a very touristy town called Wisconsin Dells. And so in the summer, a lot of college students would go there and work. And so we somehow both landed there, and that's where I met her.
So my cousin owned a bar and asked me, I was in Arizona, and asked if I'd come help him open it. And he had also, my cousin knew Patrick, and asked him to come help get the bar started too. And so we met there working.
Summer of love.
So you were both working.
Yes.
All right.
For my cousin.
Keeping the beers flowing to the end.
yes.
More or less. I mean,
There was a band night that was just
a
blast.
fun thing to do for the summer. It's on the water.
Very touristy.
There's like a lake there, and the Wisconsin River goes through there, and so
Parasailing,
super touristy, but just fun. Every day was
so much fun.
Was just a
Water
blast.
slides.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah, summer fun, Dairy Queen. Yeah.
We always call it the summer of love because
Yes, Lisa's summer of best. I love
fun.
that. So you met and you started dating, and then did you get married right away? Did you date for a while? How did that go?
so she had come from Arizona, and my roommate from college.
Meaning you were living in Arizona.
And so she came back for the summer, and then my roommate in college was coming to Arizona. And so I just happened to be moving out there after the summer, and she was moving back here after the summer.
I think we were just down the street because I was like at Millen University and he was at Point South Mountain.
So so we were both in Tempe.
Okay.
And then we just carried the relationship from Wisconsin back here. And
First date here was the state fair.
we went to the state fair.
Here.
So
That's a
yes,
fun thing.
it was very fun.
It wasn't as scary then. I mean, I don't know if it's still scary. I don't know. It's fine.
I haven't been in a long time.
The
I
rides
went
are scary.
recently, and it was a little bit scary. I always worried those rides that they put together with duct tape and bobby pins.
Exactly. We were on those for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Younger and no fear.
No fear. Well, that's fun. So then you got married How long had you been dating before you got married?
So when we moved out here, she had a teaching degree and I had a teaching degree.
Okay.
And so we were like, all right, we have teaching degrees. We probably shouldn't be bartenders the rest of our lives. We should make our parents proud.
Somebody thought we should get a job.
And so we went to a teaching fair to find teaching jobs.
Okay.
And we were living in Tempe, and I thought, all right, Scottsdale is a nice place. Maybe we should, and it's at Arizona State, so every municipality is there trying to recruit teachers. And we go to the Scottsdale line, but there had to be 50 to 200 teachers standing in line. Well, right next to it was a town called Sanders, Arizona.
Oh.
And nobody's in line for that. And I'm like, well, skip the line and go to Sanders, Arizona. And it happened to be up on the Navajo Indian Reservation. They hired us both on the spot. So we got teaching jobs. And I was like, man, we're good.
That was easy.
Yeah, it was super easy.
And then
So we moved up north.
To
4 hours north, and we were like, where are we?
Yeah.
But that kind of leads back to Lisa's lifestyle. Like you know Lisa over the years because she loved to travel.
Yes.
And so she has tons of travel stories. And so I was like, it's just another adventure. So we're going to try this together. We weren't married yet at the time.
Okay.
And so it was kind of a trial basis. Are we meant for each other? Are we meant
Go to
be-
Sanders to find out.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Small town with living in trailers and
Right.
up on, teaching all the time, and 45 minutes to the closest town.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was really far up.
Really getting to know each other.
Yes.
Then we spent that. So we taught for the first year, and then that summer after that year, we went to Thailand together because my big criteria was travel, and if somebody would come to Thailand with me.
And I have heard that traveling is an interesting way to sort of test out how compatible you are, because you're in a lot of unpredictable situations.
Right.
And
so as a teacher, you get summers off. And so we had our first summer off, and she was like, well, if we're going to do this, you have to go on a trip with me. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
10 weeks in Thailand.
So we went
Wow.
for 10 weeks in Thailand. And I remember my dad,
incredible.
because I grew up in such a small town, I'd never been out of Wisconsin. And now I'd moved to Arizona.
And now you're going to Thailand.
And now I'm going to Thailand. And my
Yeah.
dad was like, you're going to Thailand? Where are you going? He didn't even know how to pronounce the country.
They didn't know where it was.
And he was so nervous that I wasn't going to make it back.
Oh.
Yes.
He adored Lisa. And
Oh, that's nice.
Didn't steer you wrong.
yes.
He didn't. Yeah.
Oh, yes. But that was fun.
Because Patrick, you'd come from a bigger family, right? You came from a family of
Yes. So I have 8 brothers and
8
sisters.
brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So there's 9 total.
9 total, 11 in their family. My mom and dad were married for 50 some years. So
Yeah.
Fantastic family.
And is Catholic.
Catholic.
Yes.
Grew up Irish Catholic.
Irish Catholic.
And Lisa, similar.
Same.
Similar? And how many siblings did you have?
I have 3 younger brothers.
3. Yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
4 total. So it's
Four
just a
total.
little tiny
Just
family.
a tiny family after trying to fit into his. The first time the first number of times we drive home, I memorized the siblings in order, and we'd practice them, and I was like, okay. I'm like, I've got to get them all. And so now I can name them all in order.
Funny. So then you were together for a couple of years. I mean, you were together, how many, 2 or 3 years before you got married, do you think?
Yep. So we went up to the reservation. We taught together for a year. Then she came back to Arizona State to get her master's degree.
Okay.
And I stayed up there.
Oh, all right.
And then she came,
Somebody's got to keep working.
and
So we
then
got
she-
engaged that year.
then we got engaged, and she came back up for a 3rd year of teaching.
and we
Okay.
were married.
And then we got married.
And then you got married. Up in Sanders?
No.
No, you went back.
We got married
Yeah.
in Chicago.
In Chicago.
At my hometown.
Okay. Well, that's
Yes,
nice.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we would have gotten very many people to make
No
it.
one would have come to Sanders. Yeah.
It's still a 4-hour drive from the airport.
Were you teaching elementary school or?
We started off at junior high. I was
7th and 8th grade English teacher.
7th and 8th grade math and science.
Okay,
Everybody's favorites.
Yes, exactly.
I loved it though.
It was amazing.
I thought it was an amazing place. They let me be the basketball coach, the football coach, the track coach, the student council rep.
And the principal.
Exactly. So
Ran the town.
I just immersed myself in the culture and just had a great time.
And I coached cheerleading and volleyball. And then
nice.
it was very open with what
We knew
could
we
do.
didn't
Field
want to
trips.
stay there forever.
Of course. 3 years.
But what
is
an
long.
incredible experience and and great contribution to the community.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, we're still in touch with some people from up there, and some of our students come
Oh, that's fun. Well, they're all
to-
grown-ups now.
works with us. And, right, she brings her kids by, so it's kind of really fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, that is. It's crazy.
So then did you move, then you just, well, so actually, so you were early married then in Sanders.
Yes.
And are there things that you can think about that you maybe anticipated about marriage that were surprises to you, or that you thought, okay, this is definitely different than what I expected? Or what do you think your expectations were, and how did they match up with the reality?
I think early on, it was just so exciting.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was such a progression because we just were getting closer and closer, so it just seemed natural and up there.
Yeah.
And it was just fun.
And we went from traveling to teaching. I mean, we're still just almost like dating the first 3 years, I would think, right?
Yeah. And no major plans, and we kind of were good at that, liking what are we going to do next, and where are we going to go, and how are we going to make this work, and
Yeah.
just
That's
living
great.
on
And
love.
so do you feel like you were getting along pretty well during that era?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, do you remember your first big fight, or did you there wasn't any fighting, it was just joy and love?
It was a
Little
lot of
hearts
that. Yeah, I think it
streaming
was a
up
lot
between you? Yeah.
There's always so much going on. I don't remember. Let's see. I don't know.
Just not a lot of conflict
No.
during
I'm
that
trying to
era.
think before kids, because like,
Right.
you know, you have that period before kids, which we're in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
It was.
we didn't really fight much. We just were planning trips and planning this and doing exciting things.
Moving and trying to figure out what we wanted to do.
Do you think, I'm just curious, if coming from bigger families, do you think that made any difference in your ability to adjust and accommodate to living with another person?
That's really insightful, probably because there was so much to have to maneuver and work with, and 3 younger brothers was crazy. You were number 7.
I was number 7 in a house with 1 bathroom.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So there had to be some, I'm guessing a few times somebody had to go out back.
Oh, right.
For a quick release.
Especially with the
Yeah.
older
There were
girls.
6 boys.
6
So
boys.
that was helpful.
Yeah, that does help. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah,
that's-
that probably did
So a
help
lot of
along the
accommodation. Patrick was used to a lot of accommodation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And you were you were the oldest of everybody?
Yes. And just, helping out with the boys all the
She's
time.
very motherly.
Yeah. I was
did
going to
enjoy
say you were able to say, here's what's happening. Let's move things along.
So they're 2 years younger, 8 years, and 9 years younger. So the 2 younger ones were around, like,
Okay.
they went on most of my dates with me, and they were just involved very much with everything I was doing. So
That's fun.
my parents were out and about enjoying
Second mom.
themselves.
It was a
So,
different
yes.
world, wasn't it? I know I had siblings on my dates often.
Right.
That was not an unusual thing.
Right. If you're going to come out with me, I'm going to have these 2 little
Yeah,
brothers with
they've
me,
got to
so,
come.
yes.
So
And they're a blast. So they're still on dates with us. They're
All
vacations.
the time. Yeah.
you're really close. That's nice.
It is. It's fun.
So that maybe that your expectations about family life and making a life together were maybe heavily influenced by your
I think
home
so.
lives having been.
Yeah, our families and our parents, both our parents stayed together forever, and I think we saw a lot of, just family involvement and togetherness, and
Traditions.
yes, and
That sort of thing.
right. And we had been having fun, and kind of were friends for just a little bit before we started dating when we were in the Dells, and that was a lot of fun. And kind of moved into.
So then let's move to the next phase of your life. Then you come down to Phoenix.
Come to
right?
Phoenix.
You come to Phoenix. You're done with the chapter in Sanders. And what'd you do career-wise? Did you stay in teaching for a while, or?
This is one of your
where-
questions that you
This
said
is
to kind of look at and learn about stories and stuff was how did you support each other through different
Through
things?
different transitions, yes.
And this was a transition.
So let me ask you that question,
Yeah.
just because he'll clip this together.
Yeah.
So throughout your lives, I'm sure you've each, traversed different paths here and there. You've done things together. You've done things separately. How have you supported each other as you've gone through different transitions and as you've made different choices about what you wanted to do.
Yes. And so when we came down the mountain from Sanders, Arizona, I was trying to find a teaching job, and the job market was a little bit tougher here in the Valley. And
what year was that?
But we also weren't sure you wanted to stay in teaching.
right,
95.
because she knew she wanted
96.
to have children and start a family.
Yes, that was it
And
for sure.
it's tough to do that on one teacher's salary.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were like, all right, maybe we need to transition into something else. And so I started real estate, and that's how
how we met.
That's how we met. I got into real estate, but it's tough when you're a brand new agent. You're not making a lot of money, and so I had this part-time job selling ladies' clothes over the phone.
And from
I love that.
And I was,
Ladies' clothes.
doing anything I can to make
Yeah,
the
he was
bills,
in a call center.
to pay the bills. And so I'm in this call center, and I'm doing it for like 6 months, and I hate it.
Oh, okay.
And
Every day.
Every day I'm like, oh, I just don't know if I can do this. And I would get up, I would go to work, and one day I'm at the call center, and I call Lisa, and I'm just like, I hate this
I've reached
job.
my limit.
I can't do this anymore. And she's like, just get up, walk out of there, don't even look
Just
back.
quit.
Just
Yeah.
quit,
I'm
just
like,
walk out. And I was like,
well, what are we going to do for this? And it was like, we'll figure it out. Just quit.
and I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yep, just walk out. And so I just got up, took my little headphones off, and just walked out the door and never looked back. And so I was like,
Did you inspire a revolt? Did everybody else?
everyone else was just like, oh my gosh, where's he going? How does he get out of here?
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
that is
That was, yeah. And how did you feel about that when he was
he
making
was working
that?
with Doug at that time
that's
still
fun.
too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we met Doug up in
Yes.
Sanders, and and Doug's like, wait, you can't leave me.
Yeah. But that was just one example of her supporting and saying that it'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. I think that's a really, it is. And I've always felt like, I always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. But when you're,
I like
when you're
that.
doing the things together, you sort of say, well, we'll land on our feet. We'll figure it out. We'll make whatever, we'll get up tomorrow and we'll work on a new plan. So that's really
And there's
good.
stresses in it and off and on, and commission-based jobs that we've been in since and all of that stuff. But
And you've
it
both
seems
been
to
in
work out.
commission-based jobs, sort of after the teaching transition.
I continued teaching for 3 years once we moved
Once
down
you moved
here.
down.
And then started having the kids, and then I retired
Yeah,
after
nice.
my 5 years of teaching.
quite a bit of time at home, more or less, but then
Yes,
you've gone
and
back.
then I went back and got my real estate license and just kind of
Have
I
continued.
dabbled for a bit with that, and then kind of took off a number of years later with it. Oh yes, that was
Took off, meaning got really going.
correct.
Yes, got
actually
really
started right.
doing it more
became more of a
serious.
career out of it
Making it
instead of filling in around all the stuff with the kids and stuff like
schedules.
that. So yes, so I was very blessed to be able to stay home with them.
That's nice.
nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. That's nice.
I
It's a
kind
team-
of told
it's
them.
a team
I told
effort.
them that ahead of time though too. That I really
Didn't want to work
Didn't wanna
while we had young kids.
Okay, so you talked about that
We did
before
talk
getting
about that
married.
Before getting married.
Yeah.
I was very yes.
We did
vocal
talk about
that.
one, do you want to have kids? And two, how are we going to go about raising a family? And so
Exactly. And were you on board with that, Patrick? What are you?
I was totally on board with it. I think both of us came from a family setting like that, where my mom was around quite a bit with the kids and my dad worked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Same with her mom. Her mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, and her dad
Just some little
And
jobs.
what would you say? I know you have kids in in their 20s, and what do you thinking about young people today? Because I think things are a little different now, and but still, I know. I mean, would you recommend that? What are your thoughts on those concepts now?
I think it's so hard with the finances in a way now, but I know that you can make it work. I mean, it wasn't like we were going on lavish vacations, and I liked my coupons. And if you're willing to put the time in, it wasn't like I expected, high
lifestyle.
maintenance and all this stuff. No, I was very hippie and granola and was fine with
Making your own
that.
yogurt.
And so we
Yeah.
and so we just kind of made it work. I think my daughter would like to stay home.
Oh, that's nice.
Morning. And I don't know, PJ's girlfriend, I can see Madison wanting that, but it's just if it can happen. But I think they also have a lot more opportunities. I felt like it seemed like you either had to work full time or you didn't work at all. Like that was that era where everybody's you were either a stay-at-home mom or you were a full-time worker. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just what works best at the time for people.
And yeah, I think there's kind of the two things. One is, just the cost of living.
Right.
And the expectation of a certain lifestyle that I think, if Patrick grew up with one bathroom for 10 people,
right?
That's one lifestyle, right? And that's a way of managing it.
Yes.
Right? And then I think the other thing, though, is that women have now a lot more desire to build careers and have fulfillment through work. So that also adds an additional layer of decision making that complicates it.
And I think too, if people are near family that's able to help with their kids, and we were out here in Arizona and we weren't near any family, and so we were around other people that weren't near family we have most amazing friend groups that are family, but we just kind of shared or did things together with the kids. Like we played softball every Friday night for
like the kids had
years.
Their things. All of our kids were very athletic and they had their sports teams and things like that. But we always tried to keep our things as well. Like we were on teams and we had events and we had.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. So let's tell me a little bit about ways that you kept your relationship alive and vibrant as you over the years.
You start.
Well, we do enjoy athletics, and so we have played beach volleyball and 6-man volleyball when we were even in the Dells when we first met. Our bar had a beach volleyball court on it, and so from there we just continued getting on a
try
team
and do things together. So we'd play volleyball together. We played softball together. Well, lately we've been playing golf together, and we're in a golf league on Thursdays together,
Nice.
the two of us. And so I don't know, just stuff like that we're
trying
try
to
to
find things that you can enjoy doing together.
And like everybody says, it does really help to have that base of being together and doing things together, even around all the busy times with the kids, because they all grow up and go away.
I know, it's sad.
We'll come back.
I know.
So yes, so that's probably, and that's been really, it's just been fun knowing that we have that, but that how much fun we still have together.
And everybody wants to do the big things like take trips and things like that, but there's got to be the little things as well. So,
yes. So little things like playing volleyball together, and now golfing together.
Yep.
What other kinds of little things do you find where you have moments of connection, where you're able to, if you can think of any that are just...
Even just getting into like a TV show together, like sitting on the couch and watching Netflix together, or getting into a book, like our daughter recommended a book, and so the whole family read the book together. And
that's like fun.
So
yeah,
that's a nice way to stay connected, even...
Yes.
With your kids further away a little.
And they're reading.
Exactly, which is always a happy thing.
We and dinner together a lot. He's an amazing cook, so I'll cook dinner for us and stuff like that.
It's harder to cook now with just the two of us, so.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have to be a little, I always feel like it's kind of nice because then we have 2 nights worth. If I cook, then there's 2 nights worth of stuff.
That's true. He made a turkey dinner Sunday night when I got back from New York, and yes, we'll be eating that again. It's amazing. So yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk a little about. So how many years have you been married now?
30.
30. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, that's what you said. 30 was in August. So I'm sure it's been mostly bliss-filled and absolutely happy days. But I'm sure there are occasions when you don't see eye to eye, like say, for example, you need to make a decision about something, and tell us how you go about making a decision, that is going to impact both of you.
About this question.
You go on.
I don't know. We were just saying that it just
Somehow it
happens.
just works with us.
It's not very planned or organized. And so when we were thinking about this question, we're like, we're not really the best people to answer this. But he always says if there's a decision, I feel like he's more of the decision maker overall, like if it's when we chat about stuff. But a lot of times it's just if there's a decision, I do it and he makes it happen.
Interesting. You'll make the decision and he'll make it happen.
Well, like like financially, like, oh, you know what? This trip's coming up. We're going to go here and do
So
this.
you might
and
make a plan.
Yes.
You might suggest a plan.
Or it's suggested to us, and I am totally a yes person.
You
So,
say yes. Let's
to
do it.
everything.
Let's have
And then
fun.
he
Let's jump in.
Comes along and helps figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, they always say opposites attract. She is a go, 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 and I would like to just
Stay on the couch. Yeah.
And so she pushes me to do things that I normally wouldn't do,
Okay.
which I really enjoy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, and then what does he bring to you in that regard?
He is a huge, stable, secure, fun, amazing place to be. So I think that really helps for all of that. So, I do like to keep going, and I would like us to just always go together. But he's like, well, you got to plan for this, or I might not have the time off, or we need to.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no, we'll make it work. Everything always works out is my motto.
That's true. It does. Things always work out. I do think that I like to sometimes think that one person may make a decision, and then the other person may be the editor. And then maybe this person's making a decision and the other person's kind of the editor.
I can see that.
That way it seems
and it
like...
goes back and forth. And I think sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to just really remember all of the big things and stuff like that. We did just remodel the house, and that was kind of one where you're trying to work together and make your plans and keep it going.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
And did you have conflict during that time? Was there any conflict?
I mean, she's just so easygoing. So, yeah.
So he likes to demo. And so we got the house.
Get some of your aggression out. Get the hammer out.
Yep. So we got the house down to, I had a toilet and a shower.
Okay.
And that was it.
That was it.
And he had the opportunity for a gap year. And so he went to Wisconsin
And she's so supportive. Like any other wife would be like, what? You're leaving me? I was like, yeah, I'm going to go travel, see my family. Our son lived in Germany.
Work off, yep.
So I went to Germany for a little bit. And she was just so supportive all the way through it.
And people could come in the house. Like it was literally just the shower and the bathroom.
So I did the demo before he took off for 2 months. And that didn't create any conflict.
He came home with this table.
Okay, so one thing I think is so interesting is what it is that we do as individuals to how do we need to take care of ourselves as individuals so that we can show up and be a good partner in our marriage. What are some insights you have there?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. I think.
I was thinking of, go ahead. Do you have something? Because I was thinking about what you just described about going to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And thinking about how that was for you and how that was an easy thing for you to let him go for 2 months. And, what are your thoughts there? Or maybe you could tell that story a little bit.
Well, I had so much time off work and home with the kids and really able to kind of do what I wanted and be involved, and we kind of laughed about it. And so the opportunity arose that he could take
I, on the other side, had worked 25 straight years. Like I jumped into real estate, I worked 2 jobs, and then
and mostly weekends.
Yes. And so I feel like I sacrificed a lot of holidays, a lot of weekends, a lot of parties, just working and trying to keep us afloat and keep the family moving forward. And so we had gotten to a point where we were transitioning, like we were somewhat empty nesters. Like our kids are moving on their own and doing well. And I had a little bit of a gap where I wasn't working and I didn't need to work. And so I was like, hey, this is a new thing for me. I've never done this before.
All of our kids got a gap year, so we decided.
And you know,
Patrick
when
got it.
COVID came out, they all started taking gap years and taking time off. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to take a gap year. And so I traveled a little bit. I went and saw her family. I went and saw my family. I went and saw the kids. And she was very supportive of it. But at this point, she's kind of built up her real estate career and she has clients and she couldn't really
Take that time.
take the time. So the roles completely reversed. So now I was the stay-at-home dad. It just didn't have any kids or any responsibilities.
He's like, man, this is so easy.
Yeah. What's all that complaining?
Exactly.
So
I was like, oh. But yeah, no, it was very cool.
So you, if I'm hearing you right, you really got individually, you got that time.
then I got a little bit of time.
Do some things that were interesting and important to you and just relaxing to you.
Yep.
You went and you
And
probably
with the
spent
kids so spread out, Carter was in Germany, Chloe's in Detroit, and PJ's in California. Just to have some solid time with each of them was so nice for him. And then his family is amazing.
Yeah, my older brothers are all starting to retire, and so they all like to golf and fish, and so I spent a lot of time with them. And
they have festivals all the time at his house, and Schmidt-Smith's and the shed, and it's
just so many good things. And so it was a great summer.
And then you were great. He stayed with my mom and did all her honeydew lists.
Yeah,
So it was really fun.
it was a great summer.
It really was.
Yeah, what a nice thing out and a good time to get out of Phoenix.
And I flew back
Awesome
and forth
time to get out of Arizona, right?
And
flew
so,
back
Lisa,
to see
how
you a
was
couple
that for
times.
you then? Just being on your own for several months at home.
Well, I don't do well totally by myself. So I have a lot of fantastic friends. And so I spent the night at a lot of people's houses.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
A lot.
You did sleepovers. All
A
right.
lot of sleepovers, or they slept at my house. So
That's nice.
that was kind of, we knew that was going to have to happen for all of it. But they were troopers at the house too. But it was
because
fun.
your house was a little bit torn up too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But it was easy.
It sounds like there's a lot of flexibility there, you know, just in terms of being able to say, okay, this is a new chapter. This is a new phase.
Yes, I would say flexibility and just really, I don't know that a lot of things always seem to stay the same for us just because of our types of jobs and travel and family
do or
stuff.
they don't?
They don't.
They don't
Like it all kind of goes,
Things kind of keep moving,
Yes.
and you stay flexible on
Yes,
that.
definitely.
And so then, Patrick, does it help you that she is so flexible, or do you feel like you're just as flexible?
I think it's amazing that she's so flexible, that she will go with any plan. Like if I say I want to do this, she's like, yeah, let's do it. Or if
Make that work.
Yeah, we just make it work. One of the big things I think early on in our relationship, it seemed like we would only fight about money.
Ah, okay. Yes.
And when we learned to live within our means and money wasn't an issue, we didn't fight as much.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit, because that's an important one, and I think it's one that, especially with lifestyle, and I was thinking about our childhoods. What was sort of expected to have a nice, comfortable lifestyle is very different now. You have like 5 electronics that you have to have at all times, and each one of those electronics costs thousands of dollars.
It's crazy.
So it's just living is very, and so tell me a little bit about your history with that, with finances, and how you've managed to keep that peaceful in your relationship.
So her dad was an accountant, and he used to do all of his bills on these green ledger sheets.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd ever see those.
Yes, I
They would have
remember
one
those.
for each month. The ledger would be for 12 months.
Okay. I like that big.
And he used them for his work, but for some reason, she
He
had one
kind
of
of
these.
trained me on them for my bills because I wasn't very.
And so we paid every bill together. Like we would sit down the first of the month and we'd get our green ledger out. And
All right.
we would look at our finances.
You'd
We
say,
would look at our
here's how
bills.
much is coming in, and then this is what's going out.
And
We
then-
actually did it backwards. We sent it all out and then we added back in. It was we'd go da 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 da
and then
down. And
every
like,
month, if we made it, we would high five each other and we're like, we made it another month.
I love that.
And every month it was like, you need to do better. And I was like, okay.
Yes.
And then I didn't
It'd be
do much
hard.
better.
Yeah.
We did Dave Ramsey numerous times. But being commission based, it's really hard to budget. And so that's where, he is good at knowing what's coming in more. And I'm like, okay, it'll be here. We'll be fine. And
Once we
You
kind
have
of got
a
our
little more of a
finances.
mentality of it's all going to work out.
and the finances that's stressful especially for him.
And when you're a young family with 3 kids, you're trying to make ends meet. Once we figured that piece out, though, and the monthly bills were a little bit easier, it seemed like we didn't fight as much.
Finances
Do you feel like there was anything specific you did to figure that piece out, to figure that financial piece out?
I think the green ledger really helped because it would show us exactly how much we were going to need each month.
Right.
And then if we knew we could get that.
Well, and if you're paying bills together every month, you're going to know what the other one's spending. So it wasn't like a shock or really a secret about it, instead of where one person's paying everything for us. So that started I think we were dating when we started the ledger.
Do you feel like that was educational for both of you? I mean, in terms of,
Yes.
I think sometimes when you're in the thick, in the heat of battle of life, it's hard to really keep track of what it is you're spending and how it's going out. And so then maybe sitting down each month and paying those bills together. I think that's a pretty good tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
That then everyone can see what's happening.
Exactly. Right. There weren't any hidden surprises or
And
expenses
we didn't have,
overall.
she didn't have her accounts and I didn't have my accounts. It was a family account. We almost looked at it like it was a small business. This is our small business, the Schmitz family, and we were just going to make it work. So,
And you did.
yeah.
Congratulations.
So good.
And I know that today there is a lot more of that divided financial worlds, and we didn't do that, and so I'm always wondering how that works out for people.
Right.
It seems like the people that I know that have separate accounts are the ones that are in the worst positions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You mean the worst financial positions?
Worst financial positions. Like their households don't operate very well. Like,
It's just
I feel like
different.
those people are in more debt or in more struggles than what we went through. So
It could be that, because basically for everybody, money is hard, I think. There's no couple.
And if it's separate, then you're really maybe not discussing it enough.
Instead of being
Right.
leaning together, even though it may.
And that was a Dave Ramsey thing that we kind of learned from that too. But
Would you recommend Dave Ramsey as a resource for people who might be struggling with financial conflict?
I thought his Financial Peace University was fantastic.
It's called Financial Peace.
yeah,
Okay, that's excellent.
trying to live debt free and
Yeah.
and just
He
that's
just has some steps that are pretty easy to follow. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, giving him a plug, I don't.
that's okay. I mean, I think anything that has helped.
And if I would recommend it as we did it together, but I could see it would be nice to give to, like, if once our kids are engaged, I think that they should go through it.
So you guys so you talked about money at least once a month, right? And do you feel like that monthly reconnect, it made it easier for during the month to stay on track, or
We weren't
necessarily?
budgeting so
Very well.
No.
I look back on it and I'm like, ugh, I wasn't very nice to her on the first of the month. Like 29 days out of the month, I'm great. On the first, when we're paying bills, I'm like
7 in the
ugh.
morning.
Yeah. But now I look back and
That
wish I
was
would've been
funny.
a little nicer.
and you think, oh, I was maybe harsher than I needed to be.
Probably, yes.
Or maybe the way to describe it is the anxiety that you were feeling over the stress of money
Definitely.
was such that it was fueling some of that conflict. I do.
But like, are you hearing me? And I just kind of smile. And I'm like, oh, yes, honey. Is anything going to change? And I just smile and he'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
out.
it's a really tricky, it's a very tricky thing. But so those monthly conversations, then they got easier, partly as a function of having more, maybe.
Yeah,
as
having a
time
little
went
bit more
on.
and having good role models like her mom and dad were spectacular and helping us through financial and just being more
there.
of a role model of more than anything.
Amazing.
So
Yeah, I mean, that they would talk to you about money, or how would that work?
yeah.
Definitely. It kind of got us interested in investing in stocks. And yes. Oh, yeah. Every time I came home, I had to balance my checkbook with my dad. And he's like,
really?
see, once you hit zero, that means it's
no more
gone.
money.
It's gone.
But he put a buffer in there. And I'm like, well, I know there's that buffer, so I could go to negative 200. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
You don't know that's there. And I was like, but I do. So that was something that we talked about before. And then very big on savings and trying not to have a lot of debt, and that just open about that kind of stuff.
I feel like we lived without stuff.
Yeah. Oh, no, not at all. Yeah. It's been amazing. Yeah.
I think it's interesting because there is such a part of that that's about your mindset, about focusing on what you have rather than focusing on what you don't have.
Yes.
So there's always, of course, something. I mean, no matter how wealthy you are, there's some small island and,
There's something more that you could have.
that you could buy.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But so it's really a focus thing on what you have. So transitioning a little bit from that, you had monthly talks about finances, but do you ever remember having times when you talked to each other or had any kind of family meetings where you talked a lot? I mean, your marriage seems so positive and healthy and wonderful. I just wondered if you did anything maintenance-wise, like aside from spending positive time together. Did you do any kind of, once a year we'd retreat and talk about our family goals, or, those are things that I think I wished I'd done those things.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we tried to do the date night when the kids were little off and on, like dinner, where we would try to chat about stuff that wasn't just what the kids are doing. Remember, we'd have those lists sometimes of things we wanted to go over at dinner and stuff like that. And then we go to the movie and be like this. And just be able to veg.
Yeah.
because it's a lot doing, raising a family. And
I think we kind of are in there too now, like, more about like, what do we want to do with like retirement age? And, the kids two of them are back in college, but, like, where's this going to kind of go from there? And making
I would say, though, when the kids were at home, we would try to do that once a month.
Yeah.
So,
And we did Sunday night dinners were a given with the kids, and we usually had some friends over too, and made that super important.
yes. Sunday night dinners were great because we would sit down as a family. We would actually say the prayer, which I don't think many people do that anymore.
And with them being in sports and stuff, I mean, they were, and the age differences, they were gone a lot. I know you remember, but, all of a sudden there might be a wrestling meet till 10 p.m. And then, the other ones are either following along with it or we were trying to meet up everywhere and racing back and forth. So our Sunday nights were very, very nice and very chatty. Patrick loves games and competitions from his family. And so we do a lot of fun stuff like that. Even for, if we'd have some chores to do, there'd be a bowl and everybody had to pick
that's a good
3
way to
pieces
do
of paper. And so maybe you were taking out the garbage and then the other person you get 5 minutes to watch TV while everybody else is working. And so that one's sitting down. And so there'd always be something funny in there. You get to go pick up a piece of candy and the other person's taking the dishes out, and just made everything a little bit more fun. And I think that made the kids, they're all super chatty and super fun to talk to. And I think they saw that a lot with just our
With the two of
families and
you.
with
Yeah,
the two of us, and also with the families when they're visiting their aunts and uncles, because both our families are like that. My family does this numbers game to see who has to do the dishes. And we keep that alive. And
Just little family traditions like that.
that's when there's friends over too. So our
so the
kids'
friends
friends have
might-
had to do our dishes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Actually, poor Mason, he came over. He didn't even eat dinner with us and sat down and played the game and had to do the dishes. Remember that?
Yeah.
So there's always a risk.
Yes, there's a risk.
House, you don't
Always a
know.
risk walking in
Something
their house.
competitive is going to happen. And,
That's fun.
Christmas
I do
and-
remember. If you could tell the story, Patrick, of the Christmas competition that you did with your family.
Schmitzmas.
Yeah, so
Christmas.
Schmitzmas, and now there's 9 siblings. Each one of us hosts Christmas, like a Christmas gathering.
So fun.
It's the Saturday after Christmas every year, and then there's a talent show. So as a family, you have to get up and put some sort of almost like an old school junior high talent show.
Okay, like Carol Burnett skit type thing or something.
Kind of like that.
Whatever
And
you can come up
whatever you can
with.
come up with. And half of my family's very musical. Like my sister was a pianist, and my one brother
About fiddler and
played the violin, and my youngest
gunners and
in a full band. And so half the families get up there and they're like rock stars.
They're
and then
amazing.
our family gets up there and we
No one can sing.
juggle oranges or something, you know, you just never
we
know.
did sports. We took second last year with our little sports.
But I mean,
Twirling.
it's fun. And it's another thing where I think my kids see it as a sense of family, because all of my families on my side, 9 different families get together. And so there's cousins and everybody
lot of people.
a lot of people, and everybody gets along
It's
well.
so much fun.
It is a lot of fun.
That is what a wonderful
And
tradition.
so instead of Christmas, we call it Schmitzmas. And so
I love it.
and then there's a traveling trophy for it, and whoever wins.
Whoever gets to take the trophy.
And I think that's the competitive side in me, because I have
Right.
5 brothers that would battle each other on the
Yes.
football field, the baseball field, whatever.
You probably raised each other almost more than the parents.
Yes, they were all together. Yeah, because the first 7 kids were born in 10 years.
Yes.
So they were very close.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay, shifting gears just a little bit. I love that story. Is if you thinking about things you love about your partner, are there any particular things you'd like to share that you really love about your partner that you think is just amazing and you admire and you're so lucky you got?
Well, I mean, Lisa's one of the most kindest persons you'll ever meet. She's always taking in random strangers that need help. So now that our kids are gone, I love that every once in a while there'll be a random person living at my house for a month that might need a place to stay. Or
Would you love that?
we've taken in foreign exchange students, and we've
Nice.
taken in divorcees, and we've taken lately our thing is summer interns.
Nice.
So like graduate students that are coming here and doing an internship either at Intel or one of the bigger companies, need a place to stay for the summer, and they come and stay at our house. And so it's
So
kinda
everybody
nice.
knows. They're like, oh, I heard
And
somebody
I would
needs
never
to
do
stay.
that, but she has this golden heart where she just takes care of everybody. So I love that about her.
That's an amazing quality, Lisa, and what a nice addition to your life.
Yeah.
To have these people come and get to know them a little in a way that you wouldn't otherwise if you weren't spending that much time together.
Yes, it is. I do. I do love that. And Patrick is just fun and funny and
Yeah.
handsome. And just has really been such a provider and just strong and so good with everybody and the kids, and just makes us all happy. Keeps everybody together.
I love that. Those are amazing
Thank you.
qualities. Oh. Okay, so now what about something that you've decided this is something I'm going to have to accept about my spouse? This is something
We were
that
laughing about that. Let's see.
yeah, if there's something that you think, boy, this person, I've tried to change it now for 30 years and it's probably not going to change.
Oh, that's a good one. So she loves to travel, and every time she takes a trip, I will clean out like cupboards or closets, secretly throw things away.
So that goes both ways. So he thinks like keep too much stuff, and I'm also like, don't throw anything out without me here.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
rug
that's
gone?
interesting. That's
yeah.
interesting. The same, the other side of the same coin, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I do like to keep some memory stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, we haven't used this in a while. It can go." So,
Right.
yes.
More- It's kind of the sentimentality versus because my husband has a similar thing that for him he feels calmer if there's nothing on the surface of the counter, if
Right.
everything
I'm kind of a
yes.
minimalist.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the same way. I want
everything orderly.
Yes.
And yeah, because it feels like that's now everything's under control and calm and I don't have to worry about
You can
that.
just come home
and I
and
can
have
just
it done.
relax.
I think some of that's your fault, though, Sabrina, because I worked for you for 20 years in these beautiful models, and then I'd have to go home to my house.
there
and I'm
we
like,
go.
this house doesn't look like the model. I just sat in it for 8 hours. And
so used to having
And I'm
nothing.
like, we have 3 kids running around the
Yes.
house. There's no way I can have all this put away to look like.
away.
But the model homes have all been stunning. We do laugh about that a lot. That he
you
spent
get
as much
a really skewed sense of reality.
as much time in those, and then
living.
right, and they're all new ones. And every time he moves to another one, he's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And I might put up a family picture or a painting that the kids did in 3rd grade, and he's like, "This isn't a model
This
home."
isn't quite the vibe.
Yes,
It is an interesting thing because
That is
I'm
funny,
more
I've heard.
sentimental that way too. I like keeping little, they did a scratch on a piece of wood and I'm like, I need to keep that.
right. And let's hang it right here in the family room. And
cleaning that junk out.
yes.
So.
Yeah.
Posters of our kids for their senior days. I'm like, oh, we'll just leave that downstairs in the family room.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
know.
that's probably a big one. Is that
That's something.
And
What was
for all the times I traveled, I was such a minimalist. I mean, I lived with just a backpack for years and
Because
years
you were
and
collecting
years.
experiences.
But now I like a little bit more just
you want to
the
bring
memory
home too.
stuff and things like that. I do have a
Yeah.
harder time letting go of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But what's something that you didn't think?
Yeah. Is there anything
you
about
can't change.
Lisa that you feel like, okay, I'm not going to be able to change this in her?
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, after 30 years, I love her to death. So.
So right, I guess
Exactly.
whatever it was, it's working out.
Well, there's not anything that you
Yeah.
feel like I've just got to accept it.
Yeah. One thing that's tough is that she pushes me to do and try so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did that to the kids. We pushed them to try and do so many different things. But the downside to that is now I have a kid in New York, I have a kid in Detroit, and I have a kid in California because they weren't afraid to go and try things. And
Right.
And travel was but
Yeah.
no, we
there's-
just want them all back.
now
I
I'm
know.
going back.
Exactly. I hear you.
Yes.
It's definitely it's fun that they're building their lives and
So
doing
proud of
exciting
them,
things.
and yes,
So proud.
But yes,
So-
I know.
Yeah, you miss them.
Exactly.
I know. Well, that's I guess more occasion for travel.
Right.
Right?
Right. But miss the day-to-day stuff and
Right.
the dinners and things like that. But
I know.
But
They're
you have that
losing.
same thing, though, right?
We do.
Your son is in Dubai, and
And Boston and LA.
yeah.
okay, so yeah, you're kind of in the same area.
Same boat.
When
Yeah.
Carter was Germany. We visited.
In ways.
I know.
Yes. We've been
Dubai's on
traveling.
my list.
Oh yes, it's an exciting place to go.
Yeah, a friend's running a marathon there. So
Oh wow.
I know.
Maybe you could you don't want to go in the summertime.
no.
Very, very, very humid. It's the same temperature as Phoenix, but much more humid.
Wow.
Good to know.
So you have Florida humidity. So yeah, you just want wintertime
amazing.
though. It's beautiful, better. Yes, exactly.
That I do want to get there.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to, you guys are so amazing. I want to talk about conflict. You say you don't really have any, but there's got to be something and how you resolve it because it seems like you must be able to resolve conflict pretty well. And have you thought at all about what you do, how you do it? What is the miracle of the Schmitz, practically no conflict world? How does that happen?
I think both of us are more of like conflict avoiders.
Okay.
So I feel that we don't really like it. So it's a little bit more low key. So it's not like a big, like, display of anything. It's more of a quiet,
Yeah.
It's more of a chess match.
yes, a little quiet and just kind of keeping things, we both kind of like things a little more even keeled or on the fun side. So you'd think that there'd be more of like the opposite of it, but it's definitely more quiet. There's not really huge arguments.
No, and I think there's just mutual respect for one and each other, and so we don't really call each other names ever. We don't ever really scream at each other. It's more of a quiet fight. Like if I'm upset,
It gets quieter.
I become quiet, and yeah.
And then we seem to just,
And so,
take a
do you
day or
think you
two, and
can
then we kind
sense
of
what
just
he's feeling. I mean, do you?
Oh, I think we
he
both
gets
definitely
quiet,
know.
and then your
Yes.
tentacles go. I know what he's feeling because
Yes.
he's gotten quiet, and it was right after this incident happened, or this.
And I think she just gives me space for a day, and then everything goes back to normal.
Oh, okay. So we pretend it didn't happen.
we're a little bit more pretenders, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, and then just kind of push it down, and then it just kind of disperses.
That was one of the questions we were laughing about. That
because we were like,
didn't
we're
really
not going
have
to be
an
very
answer
helpful for this one, but definitely, we never
You
really
have
came
a
up with
method.
anything.
You have a method that you are using. It's just
Yes.
more of a quiet kind of. You sense that something
We'll
is
both sense
awry,
something's
or
up,
you
and we'll kind of
sense
take a
something's
break.
awry.
Yep.
And then you do the take a break method.
take a little bit of a break, and
It
then
just-
usually one of us will tell a funny story, and we're right back into
Right.
it. So
And so
Big
do you
hug, and
feel-
I'm sorry, but I don't feel like we really talk about it as much.
So it's
people
more of a
talk
change
about.
of heart. It's more of a
Yes.
change of heart.
It is.
And
That's very
that
yes.
maybe you've
You know, we
decided-
want this to work, and we want to be together, and this is whatever's going on isn't enough to disrupt everything, and it just kind of rolls along. So yes,
I wish I had a better answer for that question.
I
I know.
actually think it's terrific. And the reason I do is that everybody has their different way of doing it.
but everybody's always like, "Oh, well, we have this, and then we chat and stuff,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "We don't really go back over too much."
So, but maybe that's partly an acceptance that it's you have a change of heart, and then maybe you are accepting, okay, he is, let's just say Patrick has decided he now wants to start parking the car in the driveway. Or let's actually it would be the reverse. Let's say Lisa decides she's preferring parking the car in the driveway because it's just easier getting in and out the front door, and she just decides she doesn't want to park it in. And she's kind of just made that decision, but you don't really like that. You'd really rather she parked it in the garage. And so then, there might be a little, like maybe you go out and move the car into the garage, or
Yeah.
Or you'd say something, and
Trying to think. I
in that
we
scenario,
definitely have our
have those things,
arguments
right?
and
Like-
moments where you can just tell, but more of it's just, I don't know, like it's a frustration, and then it's like, well, right, is that really that
change of
bad?
heart.
Yeah.
And then one of you will will give in, basically.
Basically, yes.
One of you will just say, hey,
Yes.
it's not worth getting into a dispute.
Right. Let's just move on, and yes. And most of it seems to be more in the moment versus something that's probably a life-changing thing, like a huge issue that obviously isn't going to make us want to not be together.
So yours
I
is
don't
more like
know.
a micro. It's almost like a micro dance where maybe there's this way and
Yeah.
maybe there's this way,
Right.
but it's kind of micro movements.
Yeah.
Right. There's never like the big
Any big volatile
craziness and stuff like
discussion.
that. Yeah, I don't know. We're not. Yes, we're super chatty together, but yeah, just not
Yeah.
arguing.
I mean, we don't have a lot of problems.
Right.
Sometimes I'll go to church, and the minister will be up there speaking about how if you're having this problem, or if you're having this problem, or if you're having this problem, you need to come to church more often. And I'm like, I don't have any of those problems.
What am I doing here?
I love my kids. I love my wife. I have a good job.
Yeah.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think I'm just kind of lucky a
yeah.
little bit. You know?
Our blessings are many, and I feel like we're very thankful and grateful. And that ties back around into seeing that some of the things that might turn into a bigger issue, we're able to kind of move past them without having it become something huge.
Or just decide you'd really rather not have it
I think so.
into a bigger issue.
Right.
Right.
And that's, which is probably a lot of the avoidance too. When people get technical, I'm always like, wow, that's, and we talk about that sometimes, like, we be talking about some of this stuff more, but then it just seems to work.
Right.
And we just kind of
The dance
go
you're
with the
doing
flow.
together has been very cooperative.
Yes, I think we're pretty matched in that too.
In that
with
regard.
stuff.
So maybe temperamentally you're quite matched. And then I'm even sensing that a lot of it can be attributed to the expectations you have in relationships from your families of origin, that there was, good, I guess I'd say a lot of people in your families of origin and a lot of accommodating that.
And just seeing how different things work for different people and kind of being aware of what I like and you don't like. My parents hardly ever argued too. I don't remember them arguing very much. Mm-hmm. And Patrick's just really strong and such a good leader. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to have to be the leader. I'm sure actually that's one thing. You'd probably like me to make more decisions, but I'm pretty okay with most things. And I'm rather like, no, it's okay, whatever. And I'm very happy with that. I don't want to have to be in control of too much or I like
that's a
being
nice
supported
thing for
and
you,
taken
Lisa.
care of.
That's a nice thing for you too, Patrick. That
It is and it isn't sometimes.
it's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
Looking back, you're like, what's one thing that you would change about Lisa?
That'd probably be my
that would
decision.
probably be the one thing. Was
Not thinking.
I'll
it just
ask
popped
her
up.
a question, and she'll answer it with two more questions. I'll be like,
But I
She
think
needs
that's
more information.
no, she wants to. It's just her being a person that wants to please everybody. So I'll be like, hey, what do you want for dinner tonight? And she'll be like, well, what are you hungry for?
What sounds good?
What kind of sounds good? Are you in the mood for? And I'm like,
But
I just
think
asked
of
the
it-
question to you. So
I think
need
of it
your
as
answer.
girl talk because if you ask a question, we just ask questions back and forth as girl chat.
Interesting.
And he left once and answered.
I'm more direct.
So I'm like, all right, he just asked what's for dinner. I have to take a deep breath and like,
No.
ham. And so I'm trying to be better at hearing that he's asking a question and answering the question.
Yeah.
Instead of asking.
totally drives you crazy.
It does drive me nuts.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
I haven't gotten much better at it.
you haven't.
No. That's funny.
That's interesting. I mean, I really do think temperament can play a big role. Sometimes we had a younger couple on here and I was asking them about making decisions. And I mean, essentially the answer was she makes all the decisions. And then if he has a real problem with it, then he
Steps in.
Yeah. But, so sometimes I think temperament is a big factor in how that goes.
Yes.
And, I always say, like, Reed has so much energy and he really likes to say how things are going to go. And I'm like a pretty good follower until I don't like where the leader's going. And then I'm really a terrible follower.
Yep.
And so then I really...
my moments where I definitely have a stronger opinion, but usually,
For the most part.
right, even doing our house, I think he wanted me to make a few more decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think temperamentally, you guys have kind of worked that out. I mean, a little bit, right?
Definitely.
And it'll be interesting to see as you go into this last third of life. That's how
I know.
It'll be interesting to see if it stays that way.
I know.
Right.
Sometimes people change.
Exactly. I think
Sometimes
it's-
people, Patrick may like, I'm hanging up my decision maker hat. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
And I'm going to be like, here I come, watch me roar.
Yeah, exactly. That could happen too.
Right.
You don't really know,
Well,
right?
think of the third half of life.
The
third
last
quarter.
third, exactly.
Yeah, it's even a third.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but the idea of forgiveness, what role do you feel like that plays in your marriage and in your day to day?
I'm in a Bible study and I really like our church and I just feel, and having been raised Catholic, I just feel like forgiveness is just something that I think about each night for things, but along with being grateful, like to just try and let things go that were that were bothersome or bugged me. And so I don't know. I just kind of
I don't know how to answer.
feel
Okay.
I'm struggling with trying to come up with something clever on this one.
But you don't, forgiveness isn't something you even think about very often. Or Lisa has nothing to forgive.
Right?
Right,
I think
exactly.
it's more that, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that it's kind of a state of mind, though, that ties into being grateful for things and letting things go, or being forgiving or asking forgiveness, but more spiritually, I feel like that keeps me calmer.
And do you feel like that's played a big role in your marriage? I mean, has religion or your own sense of spirituality, or, kind of, has that played a big role?
I think for me, mentally and spiritually, yes.
Okay.
And it's kind of come and gone in different phases of time. But not as much. But the growing up Catholic and the stories of being in church and just having the family time and being raised with that. And our kids were raised Catholic. And I think just knowing it's there for me has been important.
So when there are times of stress or times of trouble, then that's when
for me that helps a lot.
A place you can go.
It is very much so.
Okay.
Very
And
much so.
what about for you, Patrick?
I know, she's talking about Bible study and growing up Catholic, and it makes us sound like we're very religious people.
Yeah.
I don't think we really are.
Okay.
I've always just tried to live my life being a good person, and
He doesn't see that as much as the religious side, and I think I still tie that back to religion.
To initial-
But we're not going to church every week is where that's at, but I still feel like that's been a part with prayers and thankfulness and blessings and knowing that, I don't know, just enjoying it because of the blessings, but also being completely grateful. So,
Yeah.
but yes.
It definitely helps in relationships of all kinds to be grateful and to have that attitude of sort of openness and and wanting.
Yes. And that, that, I don't know, it kind of completes things for me to have that feeling.
And sometimes people do get more religious or spiritual as they get older.
Right.
That can
And I
happen
think
if
it
they
comes in
may-
phases too, sometimes too. And
Exactly.
Yes.
No, I think it's great. And I also like it that there's room in your relationship for you to feel one way and for Patrick to feel another way and for that to be just fine.
Oh, completely.
I think that's a big, that's actually, so thinking a little bit about what other people could learn from your relationship. I mean, I like that point, just that idea of you being able to, right now you're maybe, or even at different times having been more spiritual or more religious and having, for Patrick, maybe that has not been a bigger part of his life up to this point.
And you just never know. But and the questions and where things are and, just finding how
But are
things
there
go.
other things that you feel like people could really learn from your marriage? I mean, I feel like I'm learning from your marriage, just hearing how you are together now.
I like when he was saying that we've had different people stay with us or with our Sunday dinners or just things that we do. It really, we enjoy giving in that sense of being where people can come and feel comfortable, but also see, how fun it can be and
How fun it
the
can
games.
be to be married and to enjoy each other for years and years.
So great at cooking and preparing and making, just memories around a table or a game night or something like that. And just being able to include people or the people that have stayed with us and just that they are thankful for the time they got to share with us, like some of the notes that they've sent or what a nice time they've had and everything like that just warms me because I think they see us together and that, I don't know, when it's just love and just like to share it.
I love that. Well, that's amazing. What do you think about that, Patrick?
I would say, people say they have good days and bad days in their relationship. I always say that we have good days and great days in our relationship. Because even the bad days aren't that bad. So I would say
Living
that.
on love.
Living on love.
That's our
Oh, that's your motto? Living on love?
living on love.
That's a great motto.
Because you can live on that if you don't have money.
Because we've been on both sides.
Yes,
so.
very much of that. So
You've had a lot of days of living on love.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's been
nice.
good.
I really like that. I think that's very nice. And it also shows that you know, when you were talking about having people come and, you know, being able to witness your togetherness and your making things fun and making things, I think what I love about that is that it's showing that we make it happen. It doesn't just happen on its own.
Yes.
We have to make it happen.
I
We have to decide we're going to be that, and we're going to make those things happen. And that's, I think, especially for people who are newly married, that's they're like, how do I get that? Can I go to Target and get that off the shelf?
Yeah.
No, you have to really build.
And you're kind of making it for yourself and then sharing it. You can't put it all on the other person to do that for you, because that's when I think it's hard.
Okay, elaborate on that a little bit more. You're saying you kind of have to make it for yourself. You're saying like as an individual, or you're saying as a couple?
Well, as an individual too, like the decisions that you're making each day, or how you feel, or where your heart is at, has to be what you're feeling too. You can't expect somebody else to be like making all of that for you all the time, because it needs to come together for both of you, not just expecting him to have to take care of everything every time. And then if he's not doing it the way that I think something should be done in any sense, that has to be the only reason to keep the happiness going. I feel like you have to choose that too, like to be thankful or grateful for what you are doing and having together, not just waiting for somebody to do something for you that's going to make you happy, or that it's in the future. Like, we don't be like, once we get to this point, we'll be there. And then, well, it's not there. It's a progress.
It is a progress. And that's so insightful, because I do really believe that happiness is an inside job. It's not something you can get from outside you, even from your spouse, you know, that you need to work on those things inside yourself.
Yes.
And seeing the good and looking for the good and looking for the things you have and the things that are amazing about living. And then if you're both doing that, then when you come together, it's you know, 1 and 1 makes a lot more than 2.
Yes. And just being generous and happy, or see what you have that's going well and focus on that, because it just makes it kind of move along in a smoother or just easier way than holding on for somebody else to take care of it all.
So Patrick, one thing I'm hearing here, you know, we've been talking about how you make a lot of the decisions and provide a lot of the leadership, but what I'm hearing is Lisa's providing a ton of leadership in this arena. I mean, just in terms of her belief system, I think, is a very strong one for you know, living on love. And that you're, you know, maybe she's over the years has set a tremendous example of doing that. I mean, maybe you guys have both done it all along. What do you think?
I mean, I think she's the brains of the operation, right? Like, I kind of keep it moving forward, but she is really the brains of it.
Or the heart, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, both, huh? Or maybe a little of both for both of you.
Yeah.
I can see that for how that ties, because yes, I do really, I don't know. I just enjoy being together, and I often say I'm very codependent. Like, I don't need to have to want to struggle or do it on my own. I really enjoy that we're a team.
Yeah.
Enjoy doing things together. Well, I agree with you that strength, being strong,
Yes.
a big part of that is being together,
Yes.
doing things together, pulling the cart together.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Patrick?
Totally. I was like thinking in my head, I'm the cart and she's like the engine or the horse pulling the cart, like taking us in different directions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think you're making some pretty big contributions too. So that's nice. But I actually love it that you're seeing it that way, because that is a big part of what I think helps create that mutual respect, right? That mutual respect.
Very much so.
For the contribution of the other.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so I mean, the two of you, boy, I guess one last question. What do you, if you were going to float back in time and, see your younger self when you were just starting out, would you have any advice for yourself? Would there be anything that you think, boy, I'd like to tell that guy the following 3 things? Or
I think just to make sure, and I think we felt it back then, but just to really, that things are going to turn out and that it's great, just not to worry about the stuff that kept you up at night or the things that you stressed over, which for us a lot of times seemed financial looking back, but that you do get through it and it's just pretty amazing. Maybe don't throw out all my stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, instead of worrying about things.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Patrick?
Trying to think what else I could say on that. One more time, we asked the
Just to yourself, if you were, the guy who was standing there in the tux getting ready to get married,
Yeah.
and let's just say you go into the dressing room, he's standing there in the tux, and you're like, whoa, I look pretty good for a guy who's almost 60.
Yep.
I think nowadays, the younger kids want that instant gratification. They want everything right away. And that's not what really marriage is. You're in it for the long haul. Like you got to roll up your sleeves and just enjoy every day. But there's going to be good days and there's going to be great days, and you just got to keep going through them. So,
And laugh.
yeah.
I
Enjoy
love that.
the fun.
Yeah, I love that. Well, boy, you guys have so much to be happy and grateful for and celebrate in this 30th. I guess you're now in your 31st year of marriage, and together more like 35 years or something like that, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's so much to celebrate, and I'm just really happy for you and just proud of you. I mean, it's a big thing, and I hope your kids are also proud of you. I think this is it's a big accomplishment to have built a life together and to have gone through all of the, challenges and developed the life philosophies that you have.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope it's been a good experience
Yes, it has
for
been
you.
great.
Yeah, been wonderful.
Well, good. Well, thank you.